guess who decided at 8 o'clock at night, 8:45, the video she recorded earlier wasn't good enough and her topics have changed and now she wants to talk about something else. So, eyes all puffy, drinking caffeine way past 2 o'clock and needing to go to bed. So I initially made a video earlier today that I wasn't too happy with, but it was something. And after tonight, I decided that I want to talk about something a little bit different. Because ultimately this is my channel, this is me, this is who I am, and what I do. I'm not going to section off different parts of my life just like I do with my clients, to not section health into one bubble and life and family and friends and events, and it's all one circle. So this is me, this is my faith, and this is the majority of this is why I'm here. So just a backstory leading up to it. I took a big leap in going off on my own and starting a business from nothing. I'm starting from the ground up and still slowly working its way up. And I took that leap to completely go headfirst all the way into this business. I was a manager teaching a bunch of classes and kind of doing it on the side, and I wasn't giving my full all in either one, so it wasn't fair to me and my future, and it also wasn't fair to the place I was working at. So I took a big leap. No guarantee that anything was going to happen or follow through. I'm realizing I said the place that I used to work as I'm literally wearing the place. But I took that leap with no background or real guarantee that it was going to work, other than I knew that this was what God wanted me to do. This is the path that He has for me, and it's been a long time coming to this. We'll get into that, but I knew it was the right choice. Now I am still free falling from that jump that I took. I'm slowly learning to fly, but the ground is getting a lot closer than I would like it to get. I'm not completely soaring to where I can just make it past the ground and hover, but I'm like to the point where I'm gonna crash and burn. And there's two ways of looking at that. There's the way of crashing and burning as a negative, you hit rock bottom and there's only one way to go but up. Or you can look at it as crashing and burning, how most of my life has been, where one area, no, it's not even that. Crashing and burning for me is God pulling something out randomly and it working and becoming the next thing. And that's what I've had to really do with this whole journey, is just taking whatever He has planned and going with it. I didn't plan for any of this. None of this was in my big plan at all. So the reason I want to talk about this is I went to a worship night at my church. I've been going to my church for a couple years now, and I haven't gone to one before. And for some reason tonight, this time I just felt that I wanted to go. Not like I've strayed from God, because He's the reason I'm doing all of this and I want to follow through with Him, but I just felt I needed a little bit more. So I went and it was awesome and it was great, and cried and let it out, and everyone needs a good cry a couple times a year at the very least. But it was just nice and music and laid back, and it reminded me of in high school I went to Big Sandy Camp with some of my best friends, and I only went once. But it was huge for me. It was a big kind of breaking point. I think it was from freshman to sophomore year that we went, and the big thing that I prayed all week for was, should I leave volleyball? That was the big thing. But in the grand scheme of things, that was huge. I asked if I should leave volleyball and do something else. I knew that I was really getting into fitness and wanted to do that a little bit more, so I was like, well, if I leave volleyball, I have to do something. So I'll train for a bodybuilding competition. And I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed all week long. I was thinking like, oh, what kind of signs are you going to send me to let me know that this is what I need to do and this is what you want me to do? And they have their big like end of the night worship, kind of what I went to at church, but it's like the big cry sesh where like everyone comes to Jesus and like hands in the air and praying and worshiping, and it's really great, but it's kind of crazy too. But that day, that night, I don't even know what time it was, I was just like enjoying the time and enjoying the moment, and in my head, loud and clear, I heard bodybuilding. that's okay. And I lost it. That was God telling me to leave volleyball and go into this other path that he had planned for me. Now, I have not done a bodybuilding competition, and I probably won't, because I saw that as a good reason for me to lose weight and find confidence and find compassion and love for myself, because I'd be proving myself to me. But I found that on my own. So and bodybuilding is a great sport. It's an intense area, and I definitely love and impressed by anyone who does that, but I think it's just not my area anymore. But I know God took me down that path for this reason. If I hadn't left volleyball, I wouldn't have found out that I wanted to be an athletic trainer. I wouldn't have contacted NFL teams and gotten responses back on getting advice from them. I wouldn't have met people. I wouldn't have shadowed people. I probably wouldn't have gone the college experience that I did. I wouldn't have met the people that I've met and made these great relationships and friendships that I have. I wouldn't have this house. I wouldn't have had the managerial experience. Is that a real word? I think it's a real word. I wouldn't have started this business. I wouldn't have been making this video. I wouldn't be doing anything that I'm doing right now, because none of this was planned, but it was all because God said bodybuilding, that's okay. And that's what I was thinking of tonight. I was going back to that, and my thoughts and feelings have changed so much, and it's just all whatever he wants me to do is going to be my passion, and is going to be what I want to follow through with. And going back to that was just mind-blowing, because as much as I'm afraid to fall and crash, I'm also afraid of the great things God has in store for me, because they're not what I could imagine. Like, even now I'm playing and most likely going to sell my house and become a volunteer fireman and move back to Mankato and live at the station in order to grow my business and prove to God that nothing in the physical world is going to hold me back from what he wants me to do. I mean, I love this house. I love this. I love this so much. But I knew this wasn't where I was going to stay. But in my mind, it was going to be like five-ish years down the road. And it's turning into possibly 2. I just want to throw my all into his plan, because his plans are terrifyingly amazing. They are so cool. Even when I started this coaching and I had somewhat of an idea of what I wanted to do with it, it's turning into nothing like that. It's turning into more and better, and who knows what possibilities. I mean, even the fact that I wrote journals, I always thought, just like most people, I think, like, oh, it'd be so fun to be like a writer, to write a book, and ultimately that's what I'm doing. I've written a couple articles, I got paid for one, I'm writing journals, I'm working on another one, and feeling really good about it, but this was not on my list. Nothing that I had on my list is happening, because it's not necessary anymore. Even what I thought like a year ago, or last month, or last week, this was not on my plate last week. So I just wanted to share that, even in hard and stressful and tear-jerking situations, that if you turn to God or whatever your higher power is and are okay with not having control or complete say, it's gonna be amazing. It's worth it. It is so worth it. It's hard to admit that you don't have complete control, but God's power is shown through my weakness. God's ability is amplified when I'm willing to give it to him. So that's where I'm at, that's what I want to say, and that's what I want to share today. And I think that's a good thing going into this whole, I'm going to put effort into these videos, and my coaching is me. My coaching is real life and everyday situations and struggles, and I'm not perfect, I don't have it all together, but I know what to do to get to that point. I'm okay with admitting when I'm wrong, admitting when I'm struggling, and admitting that God has control. So have a wonderful day. Don't stress, and don't drink caffeine after 2 p.m. Till next time. Bye, guys.